I could see from your celebration how important that third goal felt. Could it be the difference?
Well, I have to say that we expected in the right way, trying to control the game, trying to control the chance. We did it great, but they scored that goal that feel a little bit inconsistent in our confidence. It was difficult to accept that, but I think we deserve to win that match, and scoring the last minute, it was great for us, for our confidence, and we have to think about the second match of the leg, and it's going to be difficult, for sure.
What about the other two goals, Due and Carragher? I mean, wow, was it always going to take something special to beat Emi Martinez?
I have to say that for us it's important to believe in ourselves, and I think the three goals were great, a lot of quality, and we are very happy with that result. It's going to be difficult, we know it, but we are going to try to play the same way there because it's our DNA, and I think it's important to think about trying to win all the matches.
Your team are so fun to watch. How are they able to play with so much freedom?
Well, they are all of them quality players with a lot of ambition. We try to make history in Paris, and that means to try to win, try to fight every single match. We have, as an example, our supporters. They are great every single match, and we try to feel in the same way, trying to be ambitious, and today it's a very nice day for us.
Good luck next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sticking around, we are going to take you straight out to Paris, where PSG played Aston Villa tonight. Oh, come on back in. Stay around with us here. We've got more things to talk about in the studio. Apparently, Peter's busy. He's otherwise engaged. So, anyway, we were just talking about you, Borussia Dortmund, second leg.
Yeah, I mean, would I be allowed back in, what do you think? Do you think it's worth going again when it can only be a come down, can't it? What I'm saying is it was such a highlight in there with my friends drinking, causing a little bit of trouble without crossing the line. But
That's what you call it, yeah?
Never go back, yeah.
All right.
That's what they say about managers, don't they? Never go back.
What?
That's what they say about you. Scouts, then.
What? Was thrown by your accent. We can actually hear from Peter, who is with Carragher. Let's listen into that interview.
You now, in many people's eyes, you're favourites between you and Barcelona to win the Champions League. Do you believe inside the dressing room that you can do it now this year?
I think in the life and in the football everything is possible. We are just concentrated about the games which are coming. Of course, in our dreams there is to win Champions League, but we have to stay humble and just to work our job, trust the coach, and just put everything on the field.
And just one last thing, you made the change from Napoli to PSG. How has that change been for you?
Yeah, it was difficult because I love this city, I love these people, the fans, the team, the players, the coaches. I was so happy there, but this is the football. Sometimes you have to just make next step for the future, and I'm happy that I'm here today and with this I play with these guys.
Paris is not a difficult place to be happy in,
Yes.
so
Thank
congratulations with
you.
today. See you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Ah, look at Peter looking like
Peter's
relaxed
brilliant
and cool.
at that.
Yeah.
Peter is brilliant on the road doing interviews. He loves it and they love him.
Yes. I agree. I love Peter. I think he's great. Do people say the same thing about you when you?
No, and I wouldn't want them to.
Okay. Just kind of following up on seeing Peter talking to Carragher there. Talk to us a little bit about PSG's young attacking lineup, some of the talent that's in there, and also particularly Desiree Doué, who obviously you have
a lot of options. Barcola stayed on the bench. Obviously, we saw the goal of Carragher. Dembele didn't have one of his normal night recently, but I mean, Desiree Doué was almost unstoppable at times. Tonight. What I love with him is people that don't know that is that obviously you can see the skills, you can see the finishing on the goal, the awareness where he positioned himself in between the lines. But what is actually outstanding, I'm going to give him credit now, because to be able to generate power when someone pushes you when you're about to shoot, it's not an easy one, trust me. But what he's good at is he can run for days. Normally, Micah and Jamie, when you have a player that's good on the ball, a striker usually. They're not the type of guys that are going to be first into the tough training session when you do a 800 run or a 1500 run. But he is that type of guy. He can run for fun. He can play in a lot of positions also. He can play midfield. He can play all across the attack. He has an eye for a pass. Obviously, the ball was for Fabian Ruiz. I don't know why he didn't take it. He can score goals. And when he's on fire and he understands what he needs to do, because at one point, he was stuck in between what you know and what you think. Understand? Sometimes the game will ask you to do some stuff and he will go with what he knows. Do a bit more skills than going and kill. And for the last 2 to 3 months, he's doing that. That's why he won the national team, and that's very different. And if he is like that, to be able to put Barcola on the bench that went in the national team before you is a special talent. Hopefully he can stay like that and he can last for a very long time. But he's a very good player.
Luis Enrique, brave to put him in as well?
Luis Enrique, it's not about... With Luis Enrique, it's not so much about being brave. He doesn't care about how old you are. He doesn't care about what you have done also somewhere. It's about what you're doing. In all the clubs that he went, he wasn't scared to go to Roma, and he battled with Totti, he battled with De Gea, he battled with everybody. And he might be wrong or he might be right, it doesn't matter. That's what he believes. So if you're good enough, you play. It doesn't matter what you've done at the club, it's about what you're doing with him at that particular moment.
Okay, well, I did promise you Peter Schmeichel earlier. We couldn't bring him to you in that segment because obviously he was getting the interview. We will go to him in just a few minutes in Paris after this short break. Stay with us. Music really distracting for a second. It's a bit like, yeah. Anyway, let's take you out to Paris. Let's go and speak to Peter. We've been waiting to speak to you for so long, Peter. I don't know if you heard, by the way, Jamie was just being extremely complimentary about you.
Yeah. Very.
Yes.
Was he?
Yeah.
Just how well you do the interviews,
It wasn't for
how
your
good
ears.
they
It wasn't
are.
for your ears.
It was.
It threw me for a
Very
second,
nice.
Peter, but
Has he had a drink again?
he's very right. You're very good at those interviews. We always enjoy watching you do them.
Yeah, it's weird because, you know, as a player, I really didn't like doing those interviews. If I could avoid coming out after games, I would really do that. So it's kind of, you know, you don't want to ask the obvious silly questions, but sometimes you're in a situation you actually are asking those questions. But it's quite nice. I enjoy it. It's so nice to meet the players. And of course, when I listen to what Thierry said about Vitinha, for instance, you know, and you get Vitinha in here, you can reference that, and you can just see in his eyes how proud he is that Thierry Henry thinks that of me. So yeah, you get these little experiences. So and I have to say, being here today and watching PSG play the way they played, with that confidence but also with the patience against a very, very low block, it was just a really good experience. And some of the players they have in that team, it's just, I mean, they are so exciting to watch.
Peter, as I said, we gave you your flowers just before, and we like to have a little back and forth. You are fantastic at the job, but can I just want to clarify something? His name's Thierry, not Thierry.
Oh, come on, that's in Scouse. You know? I pronounce it in Danish.
So go on. Try and do it in
you
Scouse
know,
or French.
No, I can't do it in French. I'll go TT going forward.
Yes.
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 Hey, yes. There we go. There's a solution.
Better.
Peter, I have a question for you. 'cause
Then we're not.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go on. No, go on.
Well, I don't want to be rude.
You
Sorry.
go.
Shut up. What was I going to ask you? I know, sorry. Yes, there was an interview that I believe the producers asked you, please, if you could kindly try and get for the show. We'd be ever so grateful. Have you managed to do it?
So Prince William was here,
Yes.
and I knew before you know, the whole event today, that TNT, the English host broadcaster, the only English broadcasters, are going to have an interview with him. So I tried very, very hard to see if I could get him here in flesh after the game. He is a proper Aston Villa fan, and I mean, they clipped to him a couple of times during the game, and you can see how much he lives into the game. But as soon as that third goal went in, he stood up and left, and
Wow.
didn't have a chance to bring him in. So maybe next week.
Yes, maybe next week. That would have been fun.
But it is, of course, still half-time in this game, and they did get off to the best possible start, Alan, even against the pressure, even with so little possession as well, with Morgan Rogers.
Yeah, they did, but I think that was a game plan from Unai Emery, just to sit back, absorb a lot of the pressure. But the big thing is, you have to be a threat. You have to have quality, and that's exactly what they had through John McGinn being aggressive in a press, but just being cool, calm and collected at the right moment in time. You see here, he's got one thought in his mind, can I go and win the ball? But not that. He's now got his head up, he's looking at options. Rashford, I feel, he held that position relatively well at times, but Tielemans, good ball into him, and he's just got the presence of mind to lift his head, play it to the back post, and this is where you want Morgan Rogers, your other winger, getting in at the back post to finish it off, and it's an easy tap-in for him. But of course it was against the run of play. You're going to expect that playing here, but if you've got quality and you've got a threat with pace, you can score a goal.
And that's exactly what they did, and it looked good in that moment. But just a few moments later, it was Desiree Doué. I mean, what a player. You know, when you see someone so young, so fresh, he's here, he's not playing under any pressure. He's just looking forward to making his mark on the big stage.
Yeah, well, you always want a moment, didn't you? All young players especially, they dream about a moment. Can I create a moment that everyone goes, wow, and I can announce myself? Here there's a bit of space for him to get his head up. Then he's dictating this situation. He's owning where he's going to go. I'm going to come inside. You can't stop me. And I'm going to pick out the top corner. It was a phenomenal strike. And again, this crowd, every time he got the ball, even in the early parts of the game, it wasn't coming off for him a couple of times. You could sense there was an expectation with the crowd as to he can produce something. And by God, did he produce something today?
I just feel with the front three, they play with absolute freedom. And to be 19 years of age and play like that, I mean, it's scary for defenders. I feel for Morgan Rogers a little bit. Can he get out a little bit tighter? Look, he's an attacking player himself, ultimately as well. Can he play him down the line? Because that's what a full-back would try and do. Unfortunately, he gives him a yard, and that's all he needs.
Yeah, that is all he needs. And look, it was 1-1 at half-time. You knew that PSG would have a little bit more going into the second half. I suppose maybe you didn't expect it to come as quickly as it did, but when you've got a player like Carragher and the skill that he has, the way he made this goal his own, Rio.
Yeah, and I think Ruiz is part in this goal. This ball here, don't underestimate how that good. That's in the front of him. That's making him run onto things. And now again, he's owning this situation. The roll was just nasty. He almost, other than laying him out on the floor, he just takes him, eliminates him beautifully. But it's the silkiness with which he does. I said this is Waddle reincarnated. And it's a wonderful finish on the left foot. This is probably the only place he scores this goal.
As a defender, that's what you dread. 1v1, running back into your box. I think he's too square. Yeah. Like, it needs to show him down the line. As soon as you square up against somebody who's got that they can manoeuvre the ball that quickly, get it off to the side, and then we're finished like that. It's unstoppable.
He made Disasi look like a centre-back playing out of position at right-back. And that's what he made him look like there. And I think the first 10 minutes, I looked at Disasi and was thinking, if he could ask to come off right now, he wouldn't be far off doing it. Because it's so difficult. They were flying down that side consistently all the time and making it really difficult for him.
And this is the thing with PSG, because you think it's always going to be the front men, but it's the wide men as well. And in the case of Nuno Mendes, it's your left back who kept Mo Salah quiet over those two legs against Liverpool, and not many players can do that. And then he goes and produces a goal like this. Let's take a look at it.
Well, I said in comms, I think he's producing the best left back in the world form at the moment. Defensively, shutting down the Premier League's most potent striker, and then here today, sealing this tie for me with a wonderful bit of disguise there on his left foot. That you expect him, a left-footed player, to go on just striking those areas, but the speed of thought and the guile whips it in the top corner.
Just pure composure from a full-back that's playing at the top level in the top of his game. I mean, the pace that he showed defensively, but not that, even in the early parts of the game, he was actually getting way forward and causing Villa a problem and allowing Carragher to stay out wide. So, I mean, he thinks like an attacking full-back, but defensively, wow, he's just so strong as well.
But he's happy to go 1v1. That's what I loved about him when I watched him against Liverpool with Mo Salah. He wasn't going, no, I'll let someone come over. And we were saying sometimes you need to make it 2v1 to cover yourself, because sometimes the opposing player may be a bit quick thinker as well. He's saying, no, leave me 1v1 and I'll take that responsibility. And I'm happy to go man to man, and I'm going to come out of the winner most of the time. But also, like Alan said, I'm also a threat going the other way. Can you follow me?
Yeah.
So it's great to have players like that. I think Luis Enrique must be delighted with all the individuals, but the defenders want to be defenders in this team as well.
It's the audacity of how they defend and attack, isn't it, really? But do you think that defensive change made a big difference in the dynamics in that second half? Disasi coming on, Cash coming off. Do you think that exposed them in a way that they didn't want to be?
Yeah, well, look, I said at half-time that I was a little bit fearful about Matty Cash because he had been booked very early on, and when you're up against top quality opposition that can hurt you, they're going to run at you 1v1 a long time, as much as they can. So I get why Unai Emery made the decision to change. Me personally, I don't like the Sassy out there. I think it is like a centre-half playing at full-back, so it's not for me. And again, we've seen that when you get twisted and turned up, it can be very difficult. So I understand why he done it, but I just don't think it was ideal.
You look at